Good afternoon, Penpower V8 racers. The next race is going to be at Monza. This will be the GP circuit without the first chicane. That should help us avoid any carnage on the first lap. That chicane's notorious for causing all sorts of issues. This is an endurance race, so we want everybody to get through the first lap without any issues. The track's 3.5 miles long. It's 9 turns, pretty simple, very high speed. And you'll see this in the tire temperatures. They get very, very hot, and I'm still a little unsure about this setup. May need to play with it a little bit to see what we can do to try and manage those tire temperatures. It is an endurance race, so it's a long event, and we definitely need to have tire management into consideration. The weather in this session was partly cloudy, track temperature of 80 degrees, so it was fairly quick. I ran a 140 flat here with an optimum of 139.7. In an overcast condition, probably knock a second off of that. I ran a bunch of laps here earlier in the 95 degree area, and times were low 141s, high 140s. And I would imagine if we get a track temperature that's over 100 degrees, we're probably going to be in the high 141s, low 142s. So govern yourself accordingly there. The track, as I said, very, very high speed. We need to really manage the tires here. And as I said earlier, I think that some work needs to be done on the setup. Maybe reduce camber a little bit. Play with the tire pressure, but those temperatures are very, very high as far as I'm concerned, and need to be aware of that. I'm going to go through the lap one turn at a time, and we'll talk about braking points, corner entry, and shift points. And then we'll go through one lap that's uninterrupted. We're on the exit of 9 here. Very critical that you get a good exit, not any wheel spin, as you want to try and carry as much speed down this straight as you can. Running a 960 gear here. It does top out right at the very end, so if you're in a situation where you've got a draft, you will top out for sure. And I think that the tallest gear might be a consideration here. Judge for yourself. So just on corner entry here, we've got let up off the gas, apply some brake, actually going to downshift to 5th here. If you keep it in 6th, it's going to want to push out a fair amount into that gravel. Haven't found a setup that gets me around here in 6th yet. Not carrying any speed anyways. We will have to upshift again to 6th as we exit this corner. So we just shifted into 6th, and it's going to be a quick downshift again right after the 200-yard marker with a fairly heavy application of brakes here into this left-right chicane. You can take a fair amount of curb on both of them. In this particular lap, I actually went in a little bit too deep, lost a couple of tenths of a second on this complex. Fairly hard on the brakes here. We're going to be in real tight on the right hand side, off throttle. Want to get the car settled on exit here, otherwise it's going to want to push out a fair amount. So let's make sure that we are settled before we get back on the throttle. Just before the 50-yard marker, hard on the brakes again. This curb that's coming up on the right hand side, you can take a fair amount of it. I don't in this video, and probably cost me another tenth just right here. There's a lot of runoff on the left-hand side that you can use, and there should be no danger of getting a 1X here. Hard on the brakes here just before the bridge. We're going to downshift to third gear. The left complex, a lot of curb in this area. You need to make sure that you don't upset the car too much. But on entry here on the left hand side, you can take a fair amount of curb. Just make sure you try and keep the car as stable as you can. So as you can see, a lot of curb here. Try and stay off the sausage curbs on the right, but I do hug the red and white checkered curb. And again, a fair amount of curb here. Watch exit here on this corner. Make sure you got the car planted prior to applying throttle. Hard on the brakes here just before the 100-yard marker. It'll actually look like I'm going in too slow about mid-corner, but it's very important to get the car settled and make sure you have no wheel spin on exit here. So downshift to third gear, get in nice and tight, get stable, and then ease the throttle back in. And there you have it, 140.075. We're going to go through it one more time uninterrupted. The lap at 140.075. As always, these videos are brought to you by Never Quit Racing and Simability. Thanks to our league sponsor, Penpower, and the administration staff for putting the league on. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to send me a PM or ask me on our Discord forums, and I'll do my best to try and help you out with the setup and any parts of the track that you may be having issue with. Have fun and good racing as always, guys. Thanks.